What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Interval back with another video. So today I'm just kind of looking at what a Howie test is and kind of somewhat putting it to the hex contract. I mean, it is very easy to see that X is not a security. But we'll just kind of go through and read exactly what the Howie test is and what a security is by definition. Then we'll also kind of look at the X contract um, and see kind of how it fits in because it's definitely not a security. So, Howie test determines if a transaction qualifies as an investment contract and therefore would be considered a security. So then it would be under the Securities Act. So the Howie test exists if there is an investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profit to be derived from the efforts of others. So, number one of the Howie test is an investment of money. So, Hex does, in my eyes, check that box because you're investing money um, and a common enterprise. Now there is no company for Hex, right? Hex is just a smart contract. You're not giving your money to somebody that has a business or like a bank account. So that definitely does not check the box. So right there, uh, Hex would definitely fail the securities test, the Howie test. Um, so number three is with expectation of profit. So obviously, when you invest money, you expect profit, right? Now, unless you're like tax loss harvesting or something like that, um, you're expecting profit. So it checks that one. So yeah, so we're 1 for 3 right now. Um, so you are investing money and you are expecting profit. You're not investing in a business or a common enterprise. Um, so number 4, to be derived from the effort of others. So you're not getting yield, or the yield isn't coming from business activities, right? The yield's coming from the inflation within the hex contract. Now, everything is mathematical based, and there's a couple of different equations that happen to where you get your yield. But there is no business activities involved with you receiving yield. Um, Much like Bitcoin, um, I mean, there is a business behind actual mining. So, like an actual mining company, those are securities. But the actual mining of the Bitcoin, like the computation of mining Bitcoin, that is not security. But if you have a company and people are investing in your company that you're mining, that is definitely security, right? Um, so that being said, Hex is literally just Bitcoin with a proof of work change. It's all code, and you get yield based on time and how much hex you decide to lock up, right? Um, so when you burn hex, you mint T-shares, and then when you burn T-shares, you mint your hex. It's all code, right? So it just goes through here that most currencies, cryptocurrencies, are unregistered securities. So basically, Hex is a finished product. So we are not waiting for the product to still be released. It's completely completed, and it's been being used for 3 years. Um, there's a lot of other tokens that have come out where they basically have an idea, they write a white paper, they issue an ERC20 token, but there's no product yet. Um, most of the times, like there's literally nothing. Like there's no testnet, there's no nothing, right? It's just an idea with a ERC20 token, and it's an unregistered security essentially because you are expecting some sort of product to be produced when you bought that token. But Hex, you literally just buy it, hold it, you stake it, get your yield. It's just you in the contract. It's not Richard isn't. There's nobody giving you the yield. Um. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, right? Like it's pretty easy. So here it goes through why Bitcoin is not a security. So Bitcoin, which has never sought funds to develop its technology, does not pass the Howie test used by the SEC. However, by Clayton's definition, tokens used in an ICO are securities. So yeah, basically, security is the existence of investment contract, the formation of a common enterprise, a promise of profits by the issuer, the use of a third party to promote the offering. Right, so it's very easy. If you understand how Hex works, that is definitely not a security. So in this white paper, it kind of goes through the pre-launch, how you could have claimed it with BTC, all the math behind the BTC claims. So that's just the launch, right? So the transform lobbies are another thing where you gave the contract ETH and you're able to claim a certain amount of Hex per ETH. And staking. So staking is where the yield comes from. So payouts are drawn from a pool based on your share of total T shares. So the payout is based on my shares divided by the total number of shares, not Hex divided by the total number of Hex. So what's important? So this is the formula that is calculated by the smart contract when you actually end stake your Hex, right? So it does runs the calculation when you stake it. It gives you your T shares based on how long you staked, how big you staked, and how much Hex you staked. There's different bonuses. Longer pays better, bigger pays better. So it calculates those bonuses, spits you out a T share number, and then those T shares entitle you to a certain amount of yield per day. One T share right now gives you 6.1 or 6.2 Hex a day. So if you stake for 10 years, that's 3,650 days. So each day you'd be getting 6.1 or 6.2 Hex per day. So you don't actually get that yield until you end stake. So once you hit that end stake button after 10 years, the contract runs the code and then it tallies up how much Hex you are entitled to, and it returns your principal and your yield back into your wallet. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's pretty complicated, but there's no third parties, there's no business operations. So it's definitely not a security. It's literally just code. So it might be a long shot to say that like maybe Hex one day could be considered a commodity. Like it's a yield generating commodity. Um, it's simply beautiful, honestly. Never been done before. Trust this yield. Um, so like some things that definitely would be securities are like Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi. Um, FTX was definitely a bullshit security. They definitely had a security token, or it was just an outright Ponzi. But like something like Celsius, definitely a security because you put money on the platform and they facilitated business activity through lending out your crypto, and they would give you a yield or you expected yield. So that definitely is a security, right? So you really have to be able to think critically about these things. But it's very easy to see that Hex is definitely not a security. So I don't know, but maybe some financial advisors will try to argue with you. Obviously, you see that all the time, because they just simply don't understand what Hex is. But yeah, like I don't think it's a security, man. Like, and I really hope Kinetics um actually gets the AOK from the SEC. I mean, that if they're doing that, it might be difficult, um, but it's a step in the right direction, because I really think that like this deserves to be somewhat of a commodity. It's a yield generating commodity. Um, so yeah, and if ETH is a commodity, then some of these Ethereum projects should be considered commodities, especially if they're not considered securities. They should be commodities. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I just wanted to share that really quick, on just looking at the Howie test and kind of putting it to it. You can do it yourself if you want, but yeah, like X is not a security, guys. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe if you find this content interesting. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Crypto Winter Bowl out.